I am gonna help you get hired at Apple. Run it. All right, I got 12 things for you. The first 6 are steps and the last 6 are just tips to keep in mind. But the first thing you want to do when you're going to apply for Apple is while you're applying online, you want to submit a clean one-page resume. Put everything that you need to put on it. Job experiences, put down your schools, what you've been doing, maybe some of your interests, your talents and abilities, whatever your resume consists of, keep it as one page and submit that online. That's the first thing you want to do before you do anything else when it comes to applying at Apple. Submit a clean one-page resume. Number 2, the second thing you want to have is if you know anybody that works at Apple, get some referrals. My very first time when I made it through Apple, I had 3 different people refer me that were working at 3 different locations. It's just because I knew people. If you don't know anyone, then I guess you won't get any referrals. But if you do know some people, use that. Absolutely, that's an advantage to you. It's a help. That's something that's in your corner. Definitely get people to refer you. If they're working at Apple and you want to start working at Apple too, it's going to help because the managers and the hiring staff, corporate, they're all going to see that if there's somebody that's referring you. Number 3, you definitely want to dress kind of like this. You want to dress business casual, right? You want to put on some nice pants if you're a guy, and throw on some nice socks, some good looking shoes. Make sure your shoes and your belt match, right? Try and do that. And put on a nice button down shirt. If you have a short sleeve one like this, you don't have to tuck it in, but if you got something long sleeve, try and tuck it in and make sure that you're just looking clean. You want to dress this way even if you're going into the store to speak with the manager, and you definitely want to dress the same if you land an interview. Business casual is the way to go. I wouldn't go into Apple asking for an interview if you're dressed in a Vans t-shirt and some shorts. Nothing against that brand or that look or anything like that. I love Vans. I have like 8 pairs of shoes, 8 pairs of Vans in my closet. But what I'm saying is this, you want to dress business casual anytime you're applying to a place like Apple. You want to present yourself well. It's all about presentation. So dress business casual. And if you're a lady, then definitely wear like maybe a nice dress, some nice slacks or some nice pants and a nice button-up shirt. I saw one girl during my first interview at Apple. She had on like these black pants and this nice white button-down shirt, and I was like, ooh, you look good. You know what I'm saying? I thought I looked good, but she looked really good. So definitely you want to be pretty impressive by dressing business casual. All right, number 4, arrive with the resume in a binder. It's very important that you do it this way. Arrive with some sort of organization. It might not have to be in a binder. I wouldn't recommend a colored folder. I would recommend a neutral color, white or black. Get a white or black binder. Print your resume on some actual resume paper, right? Get some paper holders. I'll even show you. This is what mine looks like, right? You want to do this because you want to show that you're organized and that you're being professional, all right? So when you're taking your resume in there, you want it to look like this, a nice clean one-page resume. It's in resume paper. It's inside of a little paper holder, a paper protector. And the reason why you want that binder is you want 2 of them, all right? One, whenever you're visiting the store and saying, hey, I applied and everything, you want to give that binder with the resume and cover letters to a manager and let them keep that. The second binder is for the interview. If you land an interview, bring that binder to the interview every single time. You definitely want to keep pushing that in a manager's face. The reason why is because you want to keep reminding them that you are definitely organized. People want to see that you're putting passion behind some of the things that you're trying to pursue. And this is one way to demonstrate that you're passionate about trying to work at a place like Apple, by putting on a good presentation. Number 5, speak with a manager. Now, when you do this, you want to speak with the manager at easy hours. Don't speak with them at peak time or when the store is super busy. Go in like first thing when they open, or go in towards the end of the day. I would definitely recommend the first part of the day because that's when the most managers are there, I believe. But you want to speak with the manager, and here's why this is number 5 on the list, right? You want to have already submitted your resume. You want to already have some referrals. You want to already be dressing well and looking nice and clean, and you already want to have that binder in your hand with your resume and everything else that you need. So when you're speaking with the manager, all you're asking them is when the next hiring event is. Hey, can I speak with the manager? Hey, are you guys hiring? When is your next hiring event? They may let you know, they may not. They may ask you, well, they will ask you if you submitted a resume online, and that's probably as far as you're gonna get. But you do not wanna leave without giving them that binder and asking them to take it back, because it's gonna get to somebody. It's gonna get to the right person. All right, it's gonna get to somebody. So definitely meet with a manager if you can. But you wanna have all those other things done first. Apply online, submit the resume, dress well, be looking good, be presentable, and then have a nice presentation with that resume in a binder or something nice and neat, something that looks clean. You wanna give it your best shot. Step number 6 is this, right? If you do land an interview, arrive 20 minutes early, all right? You wanna get there, ask where you need to be to wait for the interview, and just be there, because everybody will see you. And if you're the first one there, if you've arrived early, if you've been patiently waiting, I would do that. And while you're waiting there, sometimes they put you in the corner by the iPads or by the iPhones. Play around with the product. Don't just stand there looking at everybody else walk in and out of the store. Wait there, have your binder ready, right, while you're waiting for the interview, and play around with some of the products, but stay in that same place. But you do want to arrive there 20 minutes early. Nothing speaks volumes like getting there on time or even earlier before that. Arrive on time. Number 7 is this. In the Apple interview, they're gonna ask you what you're passionate about, and it's very important that you share that and do it with some energy and enthusiasm. If you like photography, share that, right? Talk about how you've been working with a camera, things you've noticed, things that you've been good at when it comes to photography. If you're passionate about art and drawing, talk about that. If you're passionate about something, the people at Apple want to know that, because Apple is passionate about their product because people are passionate about their product. And Apple is passionate about people. And the reason why people come to Apple is because it aids them in things like photography, videography, drawing, art, music, all those passions. Apple caters to that. So they want to know what you're passionate about. So keep that in mind. Number 8 is this. Share how you use their product. If you're not an Apple user, then talk about what you know about Apple, what you've heard about Apple, how you've seen others use the product and their enjoyment that they get out of using it, right? But if you are an Apple owner, you own an iPhone, iPad, Mac, anything like that, iPod, talk about that product and talk about how it has maybe changed your life, or maybe it's aided you in something. Maybe it's built on something in your creativity. It's helped you to create the next awesome photos or the next great video, right? You want to talk about how you use the product and the enjoyment you get out of doing that, because Apple wants to know, they want to know from everybody, hey, when you use our product, how does it make you feel? And what does it help you do? So definitely talk about how you use the product, or how you know that someone else uses the product. Number 9 is this. Okay, you got to answer the questions clearly. Obviously, in every interview, people are asking you questions. Take some time. When you get asked a question, take some time, pause, ask them to repeat the question, and give it a nice answer. Just relax while you're doing it. Don't over-explain it, and don't take too long. Also, don't be too short. Just answer the question, have a good time while you're doing that. Look around at other people while you're answering the question, and look at the person that's asking you the question, and just vibe with them, just connect with them over your answer. That's the goal of them asking you questions, is for you to connect with the people in that interview. So definitely answer the question clearly. Number 10 is this, ask questions. When you're in an interview, especially with Apple, Every interview with any company, they're always gonna ask you, do you have any questions for me? You wanna have 1 to 2 questions to ask them, not 3 or 4, not questions that are too complex, right? I'm gonna do a video soon on what questions to ask Apple managers while you're in an Apple interview. I'm not gonna state them all now, but I'll give you some important questions to ask, right? But one question, I'll just give you one for now. One question that's important to ask is ask a question about the role you're applying for and how people get passionate in that role. If you're applying to be a specialist or a creative or maybe an expert in something or genius bar, ask about that role, right? Ask your managers, hey, what does it take to do this role well and to be a good candidate? And what does it take to successfully do everything that this role is requiring me to do? People like it when you ask questions, but people love it when you ask good questions, especially about their product and what they're doing. So ask questions. Number 11 is this: you definitely got to smile. People want to see that you can connect with people well. And one of the greatest ways to connect with people is simply through a smile. If you can just smile often in an interview or smile while you're talking with the manager or anybody else that's in the Apple store, you're going to have increased chances exponentially by actually landing a position at Apple. Smile, especially if you made it into the interviews. Apple usually has a 3-stage or 4-stage interview process. It's very important that you just communicate that, man, you're happy, that you can smile. Because when you're encountering customers every day, one thing that you have to do that a customer's not always doing is cheese. See, it's simple. All you gotta do is smile. Smiling just communicates that you want to be there. It communicates that you're intentional, and it also communicates that you're just happy. So definitely smile. Number 12 is this: just be yourself. When it comes to the Apple interview and the process of getting an interview and even getting hired, the only thing that they're really requiring out of you is to just be yourself. They're not requiring this enormous amount of product knowledge that you have when it comes to Apple. But the best chances that you have of actually landing a job at Apple is being yourself. It's the simplest and easiest thing that you can do. Guys, if you guys like this video, or if you want to subscribe, give it a subscribe. I got some more content coming. I'm even gonna release a video talking about what questions you need to ask when it comes to the Apple interview. They're gonna ask you if you have any questions for them, and I'm gonna give you some good questions to ask that might help secure your position in getting an actual spot at the Apple staff. All right, so if you guys like this video, again, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you wanna see more content, and I will tune in with you guys next time. Peace and love.